What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-fade comb over, so stay tuned. We're starting off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place. This is so we could create a beautiful canvas. Now that our canvas is nice and clean, we can move on to our T outliners and create our first guideline. We are contouring this guideline to this head shape so the fade could flow better. Now that we're done balding them out and creating our first guideline, we can move on to the no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. I am using my Master, so when I say lever all the way open, I actually mean midway, which is equivalent to a no guard all the way open on the gammas or walls. Now that we're done setting in our second guideline, we can start to close the lever all the way and remove that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use the lever to soften up this line and get it ready for the zero guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the zero guard and erase the line completely. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Moving on to our two guard all the way open, we're creating our fourth guideline and we're using the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. We're then going to soften up the line with the lever and then move on to the one guard all the way open. Since we're done softening up the line, we can move back to the one guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our clipper over comb method. When using clipper over comb, you want to make sure the hair is a little bit damp so it's easier to grab the hair with the comb. Also, when I'm cutting horizontally, I'm debulking, and when I'm cutting vertically, I'm blending. Moving on to my three guard all the way open, we're going to continue to debulk and flick out as much as we can. Moving on to the C cup, we're using our Anise T outliners and we're starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch. You always want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the trimmer, because if not, then it won't cut the hair properly. We're also going to line up his vertical bars and keep them as natural as possible. Moving on to the back side, we're starting off with our Anise T outliners and we're creating our first guideline. Once we're done balding them out, we're going to move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Remember to use the lever to soften up the initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline with the lever, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We are nearing the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here in detail. Instead of using the 0 guard, I ended up going out to the last notch, which is equivalent to a 1 guard on the masters, and flicking out and using my corners as much as possible. Here I'm switching over to my 0 guard all the way open, and I'm using the corners to flick out and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done blending out the guideline near the occipital bone, we can move on to our clipper over comb method and debulk. Remember, my horizontal cuts are debulking and my vertical cuts are blending. Here I'm using the 3 guard all the way open and I'm flicking out as much as possible. Now we're lining up the right side of his head. We're gonna move on to our Anis T outliners, and we're making sure the hair feeds into the trimmer. Now that we're done with the fading and lining them up, we can move on to the top and create our first guideline through the middle, working our way to the sides. You always want to make sure the hair is nice and damp so you can get the true length of the hair follicles. Kind of like clipper of a comb. You're grabbing the hair with the comb, feeding it into your fingers, and then cutting it with your shears. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Also, if you leave a comment down below, I'm 100% going to reply to it, so make sure you comment. Moving on to our Turkish razor and Derby Premium blades, we're going to make them as crispy as possible. But before we use the razor, we always apply some shave gel and then also stretch the skin as much as possible while keeping the blade at a 45-degree angle. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a low mid fade on my cousin, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and laying the hair down in the direction it lays. Then we're going to switch over to our Gold FX and create our first guideline. Now that we're done budding them out with our Gold FX, we're going to switch over to our No Guard All the Way Open and create our second guideline. Using the lever midway and all the way closed will help you erase that initial guideline you created with your Gold FX. Now that our initial guideline is erased, we're going to move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Again, using the lever midway and all the way closed will help you erase that initial guideline. Now that the line is soft enough with the one guard, we're going to switch over to our half guard and erase the line completely. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Using our 2 guard all the way open, we're going to create our 4th guideline and get it ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that the line is soft enough, we're going to move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Now that the bottom half of the fade is blended, we're going to move on to our 3 guard all the way open and start to blend into the top bulk. Now that we're done with our detail work, we're going to move on to our clipper over comb method and debulk the sides. Now that we're done with the sides, we're going to continue to fade in the back. Now that we're continuing to fade in the back side, we're going to make our guidelines a little bit thicker due to the high density of hair follicles and the occipital bone. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we're going to move on to our 1 guard all the way open, soften the line up, and get it ready for the half guard. Since we're done with the bottom half of the fade, we're gonna move on to our 2 guard all the way open, soften up the line and get it ready for the 1.5 guard. When you're using your 2 guard, you wanna be careful because you're near the calic area. You do not want to go up too high and cut a hole into the silhouette. I'm moving over to my clipper over comb method just so I could complete the silhouette. Also, you always want to make sure you leave a decent amount of weight in the calic area just so the hairs can lay down. Now that we're done with the sides and back, we're going to saturate the top of the head and get ready for our shear work. My cousin wanted a decent trim, so we're taking about 1 inch off around the whole hair. We're going to start off by creating our guideline in the middle of the head and then work our way to the sides. As you can see, now I'm starting to match the sides to the top guideline. Moving on to the hairline, before we line them up, we're going to blow dry the hair and make sure all the hair is dry. Sometimes when the hair is wet, it doesn't feed through the trimmer properly and it makes the trimmer dram, so make sure the hair is nice and dry. Now that the hair is nice and dry, we're going to make sure the hair is nice and laid down, and we're going to start from the middle and work our way to the sides. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I'm noticing a lot more comments, so leave likes and comments, subscribe is greatly appreciated. Now we're moving on to our C-cup area. I'm starting in the bottom half of the C-cup and working my way to the top half of the C-cup. Don't forget to detail. That's what separates the beginning barbers from the professional barbers. Now that we're done cutting his hair, we're gonna switch over to our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make him as crispy as possible. We're not gonna be touching his eyebrows because he's young and we don't want to fuck up his eyebrows.